Hello all. I wanted to give you a brief tutorial on using Excel as a way to create a multiple baseline graph. In front of you, you can see that we have a typical data file. I want to show you how to do the graphs, and you'll look at the charts in GAST on chart 11A, I believe it is. We'll show you how it should look at the end product. So you're going to stack three charts together, okay, one on top of the other. So I'm going to create the first chart just the way that you would do it, and I would grab the data here, beginning at the top cell. I will highlight it, and then I will go Insert, Line, and I found that graph number 1, line graph number 1, works well. Okay, so there's my basic graph. I might just put it here like this. Okay, then I'm going to select this line, graph number 2, Insert Graph, line graph number 1. There's child B. I'll grab it down and put it here right next to the label. Okay. And then child number C. Insert, line number 1. Now I have three graphs, and each graph represents a child. Baseline starts at different points. On this particular data set, it starts at day 5, right here. Day 11, I said baseline ends at day 5. I'm sorry, baseline ends at day 5. Baseline ends at day 10 and starts intervention at 11. And on C, as you can see from the data that's gray, the gray data is baseline. On the third child, the switchover is between day 18 and 19. So I can scroll down just a little bit and know that it starts about here. Okay. Now before you exit, I'm going to show you how to exit and put this into a Microsoft Word document. Before you do that, you'll probably want to put on axis labels, and that you'll have to do that for each graph. So I'm going to click on the outside line. Notice that it highlights graph for child A. I'll go up to Layout. I'll go to Axis Titles to put on that vertical axis title, and I'll use a rotated axis because that's what I like. And I'll say number of outbursts. Okay. And I'll hit Enter, and it comes up. Okay, also down at the very bottom, I will put on this chart, I will label the horizontal label and put it below and label this days. I want you to go in, type days in, and hit Enter, and it comes in there. I want you to look at the graphs in GAST and try to make the graphs look the best you can according to graph. You may not be able to get rid of these axes on these tables, so don't worry about that too much. But this is about all you need to do right now with this data, except I'm going to make this just a little smaller so I can grab it all at once. Now you're probably going to want to take this and put it in a Microsoft Word document. Okay, I'm going to do that by clicking each graph, making sure they're all highlighted. So now I have them all highlighted. I did that by holding down my control button and then clicking on the outside edges. Next I'm going to hit copy, control copy, and then I'll go over here and hit control paste. Say something like this, figure 1, and then I will write 3 multiple baseline results. Okay. Now I noticed I forgot to put the number of outbursts here, but you can do it the same way that I did. I also see right now that things are reversed. And if you look in your book, the APA book, it'll tell you what to put in the caption. Now, I'll send you back to GAST because we still have to do a little drawing here. The reason I'm drawing on Word is because you can't draw lines outside of the graph boxes in Excel, but because I just have a paste here, I should be able to do it without a problem. So I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to go to Shapes. I'm going to go to Line Segment. I'll start a line segment up here. It's going to show the phase line for 5. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. So I'm going to draw it right here, roughly. There's my phase line for 5. Let's see if it's going to let me go past. It will. It'll let me go right there, I think. No. Notice that it won't let me go in Word also, so I'm just going to go and insert Shapes. I'll just bring it up here from right here. Actually, it should be 5. My line's a little crooked, so I'll have to deal with that in a minute. Grab that like so. Move this over. Looks like it needs to come over just a little. Okay, here's my phase line here. I'll bring it over. Now the phase line for number 2 starts at around 11, so I will insert Shape, Line Connector, and here I will go about line 11. Alright, I missed it a little, but I can move it over. It's easier than an eraser. And then of course I'll insert Shape again, connect my horizontal phase lines as such. Okay, and you can complete the other one using the same technique. I'm not going to do all 3 graphs, just in the interest of making the video short. Okay, I want you to know that you can go up in the graphs and you can take out little pieces like that one. You don't need it, and it'll make it bigger. It'll make the line bigger, and that'll spread it out. It'll make it easier for you to do your work. Okay. You can also label the graph number of outbursts, take out the child A and put it somewhere else here depending on your work. Okay, so you are going to want the number of outbursts on each of the vertical axes, and on the horizontal axes you just put the days right here, and we know that that carries up. So that is simply what your graphs are going to look like once you get all the phase lines in. Now you will have to calculate your median line and all of that. I'm going to do that in a separate video, and I'm going to let you, for this project, do it by hand. So once you get the graphs to this position, you can do the rest of the work by hand. Once you get all the phase lines drawn in and all the labels and all of that drawn in, you can print it out and then do your stability line and your mean and your trend line and your quickie split middle, etc. You can do that all by hand. I hope this helps.